Okay, touch base with the management of Kansai Nerolac, Mr. Bharuka, who's MD of the business, joins in to talk more. Mr. Bharuka, it's great to have you on the show. Thanks very much for taking out this time to speak with us as we celebrate our 9th year anniversary all of this week, Mr. Bharuka. I want to start off by asking about the paint sector, which seems to be on a rebound very smartly. The effects of GST demonetization now waning. Double-digit growth is seen for all big companies. How much of this is on account of a low base and how much is due to revival in underlying demand?
Good morning and congratulations to all of you for your 9th anniversary.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, I think paint industry has been doing well since 91, having a double-digit growth, and I don't think it has any low base. Of course, June there was an issue of GST, but even in the month of June, paint industry did not degrow much. June last year itself was not very bad. So I don't think it has a low base, and it is doing well. And we expect it to have a double-digit growth. In the short term, it is possible some of the sector like automobile may have some pressure, but I think overall we expect it to do well.
Okay. Autos is one of your main customers, and while the auto monthly sales numbers are looking pretty strong, you have mentioned there may be some moderation there. Why is that? Another key indicator of improving demand is the fact that paint makers, including yourself, are expanding capacity. What's your current capacity and utilization, and how much do you hope to increase this to?
So our utilization is about 80 to 84%. So we don't have a much capacity left. In fact, on the side of industrial, our utilization is more than 90%. And that is why we are adding to the capacity. And as I mentioned, double-digit growth is expected in the industry. So we always keep to ensure that we have a capacities. As far as auto is concerned, I think in the short term, we definitely feel there could be a pressure when it comes to passenger vehicles. However, two-wheelers or the tractor or the commercial industry may still do well because of the government push and the election year and the MSP price increase which is being talked about. But definitely there is some uncertainty, but we still expect it to do well.
Okay, let's talk about the concerning factor, which is rising raw material prices, be it the prices on Brent or titanium dioxide. How much have average costs gone up by? Would it hurt your margins? Would you pass on the cost burden in terms of pricing? What's the plan?
No, certainly. I think increase in crude oil prices coupled with closure of few plants in China. So there is a supply-demand gap which have come up. So paint industry is definitely under pressure in terms of cost. However, when it comes to decorative, which is a consumer-related product, I think here we have been able to pass on and protect the margin. When it comes to industrial, I think it is a case by case. There are contracts which are involved. There are global contracts which are involved. So I think it takes time to pass on those increases. And there certainly margin would be under pressure. And on top of that, I think last 2 months we have seen rupee getting depreciated. And unfortunately, for me, worry is more uncertainty and the volatility in the crude oil and the rupee, which is actually creating a problem for us.
Yeah, and so what is it that you're doing to hedge that risk on the currency side?
No, so there's nothing much we can do. If you do a forward cover or if you do a hedging, the cost of hedging itself has gone up considerably because of the geopolitical situation. So I think we are, just ensuring that we expect that it should be, around 68, 67, which is where it is now. And if we try and do a forward cover, cost would be very high. I don't expect it to cross, beyond 70. And that is why just we are, waiting and watching. As I said, uncertainty is creating a problem for us. And we hope it will get stabilized at this level. And maybe if everything is positive, we will get more FII flows.
Right, we understand you would be mulling a price hike to offset the higher raw material prices. To what extent would you be aggressive and by when?
In case of decorative, I think we have been able to pass on most of the increases. There may be a marginal increase which is still left to be passed on, but otherwise I think we have passed on. And as I mentioned, when it comes to industrial, it is a case by case, customer by customer, which is very difficult for me to come and talk about it.
But I'm still trying to, Mr. Bharuka, seek a direction on margins. Will they be volatile? What is the range that you will be able to maintain?
Certainly, they will be volatile. As I said, we have no idea how the raw material prices are going to behave. At the same time, we are also conscious that we need to also do value engineering at our end and at the customer end. So, new technology which we may introduce will perhaps, try and protect our margin. So, it's difficult to make a comment, but definitely I am ready to accept that margin is under pressure.
Okay. But as I wrap up this interview, will you be able to continue double-digit revenue and volume growth trajectory for the next 3 years? Could you give me some color on that?
Yeah, I think that is definite according to me. The double-digit growth, maybe why 3 years, maybe more than 3 years, it should continue. So I am very confident when it comes to the volume growth. However, as I said, profitability will always remain under pressure, but that is the type of industry. You need to look at last 20 years statistics. You will find there are times when the margins comes under pressure, but it comes back. Overall, if you look at 18 years, we have had 36% CAGR growth on profit. So that is how we look at it rather than looking on quarter or year on year.
Mr. Bharuka, thanks very much for taking out the time to speak with us this morning. And I think your last words were the most encouraging and uplifting from a market standpoint. Thanks very much once again.